Good morning and a warm welcome to Anglia Television. In 2 minutes, Your Living Body begins our schools programmes. That's at 9:30.
But I really don't think...
Talk about the new sound.
Who's watching that?
24-hour-a-day sound of local radio.
Thank you, Kevin. Sorry about that reference. One of the problems of working live.
So don't worry if not.
Category for the past few weeks. You might have seen it. We take great pleasure in inaugurating a totally new award this year. The Top of the Pops Best Video Award.
There is a kind of loyalty towards morality.
Michael Pennington stars in Waving...
Start to the weekend at the Oxford Road Show.
Our Bartok centenary celebration.
Paper, which is, of course, a nasty start because...
But it's very hard, and I don't know whether they will succeed. Thank you.
I think, bearing in mind most of the factors attaching to this,
La symphonie Fafner, fantastique.
Yes.
For nothing.
I think you're quite right. It is extremely vulgar to have a label showing on the tie. Extremely vulgar.
Well, Jim Pope will be here.
And the mousse?
The mousse is mainly yogurt.
Meanwhile, here on YTV, it's time for the news from ITN.
And leaving. Chris Smith sees that it's time to offer advice on the flower of the month.
It's being done to try to find the cause of the fire and...
If you want the chance to be an astronaut, keep watching.
The 9 o'clock news is now on BBC One. And on 2 this evening, the science correspondent David Wilson. It comes from inside Aldermaston.
Over 50 miles to London from the atomic...
More comedy at 9 o'clock with Three of a Kind.
Hooray! I got the top score! I got them all! I got them all down! Not this one, you ain't earthling.
On BBC One shortly, but not on BBC Wales, the new Doctor Who, Peter Davison, is embarking on the first stage of another adventure, 4 to Doomsday.
These and other stories in the news with subtitles. The and the lens, which is held in place by ligaments attached to what are called the ciliary muscles.
The little green man was certain that it was the same can which had tried to dodge him in the supermarket.
A fast-moving mixture of poems, puns, pop and presenters provide words.
You'll go a long way.
All right!
And of course, Virginia Wade, who appeared in Get Set, is one of the BBC's commentators at this year's Wimbledon. And coverage today begins here on BBC One at 1 o'clock in Grandstand.
Stop to talk to everyone you know, and...
Hello?
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 Hey, these beans are good. Now it's time for Pac-Man. Hello, Errol. Yeah, take it away.
Vision premiere of Condo Man starring Michael Crawford.
Tomorrow at 7:30, Busman's Holiday. This is our next programme in about 5 minutes.
And achieved pop stardom in Earsay.
And I do have to give you the following health warning.
Mulch, Nimmo, Cheesy and Humpo will be back again at 9 o'clock next week with the last of the summer repeats of Not the 9 o'clock News.
And on BBC Two at 1:55.
Now, Mike Reed and Janice Long with this week's Top of the Pops.
Bernie Flint introduces the first of a brand new series of Mooncat & Co.
Presenting the awards this year are David Jensen and a newcomer to Nationwide, Anne Diamond.
Hey, hang on a minute. London. There we are, London.
That's fine. I agree that's London, but you're actually supposed to be here at Television Centre, you know.
In half. There's half a green pepper.
On BBC One now, the nightly programme of News and Election 87. Wide scale of the problem. That's Brass Tacks tomorrow at 8:30 on BBC Two.
Hi and welcome. Yes, we had 3 clues there as to what's coming up on calendar in the next 40 minutes.
Every time robbing Everton of a replay.
Which make as a sauce. You could use 2 cups. Very
good. Video buffs and tell us which of those you'd like to see later on in the show.
Jersey for a great deal more holiday, more value.
Look east, then at 6:25, more trouble.
Sleet or snow with drifting of snow on the hills. Temperatures will be in the...
Trick pigs.
Where'd you keep them?
Under the bed.
Oh, what about the smell?
Now we stay on the seesaw for bric-a-brac.
On Wednesday at 12:30, The Video Age.
Hello, I'm Patrick Stoddart. On this
Anglia Television, and just to look ahead to tomorrow night, there's...
and claimed to be the mother of the baby Holly. From inquiries we've made so far...
Personal choice of films of the year can now be seen at 11:40, and the scheduled movie classic Forbidden...
One thing you can't hide is when you're crippled inside.
And don't forget the next episode of Danger Mouse is in your Monday Watch It, starting as usual at 4:15. Well, at 4:45...
A look at the reconstruction of the wartime past at the Norfolk and Suffolk Aviation Museum, whose untiring enthusiasts work to...
Of our book token winner, and our cricket winners get to meet Ian Botham in the nets at the Oval.
Our live group will be Tears for Fears, pop-in guests Wham. Also Peter Duncan from Blue Peter will be singing his latest record.
About one of my fave shows at the moment, the Hot Rockin' Poddington Peas will be back around about the same time next week. Ed, what have you drawn? Show us. Come on, what is this?
Now there's another happy ending, and here's another round of the super quiz in which, by linking pictures, letters and figures, you make connections.
Remember today to be nice to people, okay?
Of a gang known as the Chelsea Mob. All 9 are charged with conspiracy to cause a fray on occasions between 1980 and 1986.
Good evening and...
Next on TSW tonight, Duran Duran, Blue Silver.
Welcome to my new television series, and here we are in Bryn Mawr.
286, new drama for a new year on BBC One. Lewis Carroll's timeless tale for children of all ages.
Richard Bryars as the troubled Reverend Lamb. All in good faith. A new series starts Monday at 8 on Thames.
Well, what do you think of our film then? I must say, having watched it, I've decided that
there, and it's wet as well.
Teacher, could you help me, please? I think I've made a boob.
Ho, ho, ho. Well, you can tell that I'm in a good mood that I've let them talk me into wearing this lot. It's like a Turkish bath under all this, actually, but...
Not really having to do anything or be anything. It is just all dished out to you.
Well, really, we talk now very freely about sex.
I know there's jobs that we can, and there are quite a lot that we can't, but at least we can check.
We can
some
identify
of the
the faults.
That's
Yeah.
right. So where would you start with?
Eggs. They're smashing.
Andy's Records. Oh, it's an East Anglian earful hen.
Walker's crisps always taste so good.
You were a classically trained oboe player, weren't you? Back in the early days. It must have been very strange for you working in the pop business.
The funeral of the Earl of Stockton, the former Prime Minister Harold Macmillan, takes place later this morning in the Sussex village of Horsted Canes.
This is Anglia Television, broadcasting a full-colour service in the east of England from the transmitters of the Independent Broadcasting Authority.
Dream me a dream. But instead of wanting to send you to sleep for one night, this sandman wants to send us to sleep for 500 years.
But a Palestinian...
Still in a month of Sundays.
Board, in memory of the late Gordon Bennett, the...
Next week, Jonathan Miller discusses the concept of heaven and hell from the point of view of someone who believes that our lives end with death, and to whom...
British Gas. Energy is our business.
And that's after the news with Jan Leeming now at 10:20.
That's how easy it can be.
You know the opening titles.
We always ruddy well have them, so here they are again.
Take breaks.
Are people going to be feeding you with straws and things as you're going along?
They're not allowed to hold me up. I can actually... It's great.
200 meters, yes. I shall make my way out into the desert and face the ravening hordes.
Smith's hand in glove, and is currently working on a television program about women in rock.
So join Mike, John, Sarah and David in the Saturday Superstore at 9 o'clock on BBC One.
And there we come to the end of things here on 2. But if you're staying up a bit longer, don't forget Radio 2's on the go now, and they'll keep you company all the way through the night. But from us here on BBC 2 with the time just coming up to 28 minutes to 1, this is Martin King on behalf of all my colleagues, bidding you a good night. Good night to you.